Professional Wrestling.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Feast or Fired. This is going to be our take 3. Having technical.
Sorry.
We are just going to run through this show as quickly as freaking possible because I don't care. September 25th, 2002. We start with Jarrett Lynn attacking Sonny Siaki as some retribution for him screwing him out of the World Championship match last week. And it's broken up by Don Harris, basically.
Which was funny considering you made an offhanded comment about how we don't see
I don't care. I don't care about that. Third time through, it's superfluous. All right, next match: Amazing Red versus Sonny Siaki. It's fine. The only notes that are happening is that Sonny Siaki is selling the fact that he's injured. He's mostly in control of the match. We see the Plum Tree dude that was the Johnson's manager out there. Siaki gets his finisher and gets the win, and then Estrada comes out and demands that Siaki turns over his elbow.
So, Egomaniac is out of the fly.
All right. On his way to the back, Red gets attacked by Ron the Truth Killings, who is complaining about the X Division overshadowing his championship. Only time he does it this night. And it's just because he has the Lumberjack match against Jerry Lynn for the X Division title tonight, and all the Lumberjacks are X Division. All right, match number 2. Tag title match, Brian Lee and Ron Harris versus America's Most Wanted. It's a tables match, traditional tags. I don't know why. But, yeah. Chris and Storm have the early control. We see some tandem offense from them, really building up the idea that this team is coming together, getting better, and proving themselves to be a worthy team of the titles. Ron and Lee seem to have a problem capitalizing on their power and getting a victory when they have the opportunity, which eventually leads to Chris Harris getting a hot tag in on Storm. Eventually, they're fighting with Lee on the apron, and they use a double team move to knock Lee off, with Harris doing like a flying clothesarm off of Storm's back. And Brian Lee goes to the table. They get the victory. They get jumped, beaten down. Harris gets hit with the tag belt. Storm gets thrown through the table, but they retain.
I find it stupid because commercial and security guard brother could have won earlier.
And going off my wife's note about the stupid comment I made during the show while we were watching, Don Harris does come out, and we actually get to see the Harris twins together. Thanks for coughing over my comment.
I'm sorry. I tried to hold it in, and I tried to mute.
All right. See a scene earlier where Bruce is with Goldie, and he's arguing with some old lady over a parking spot. I don't care. Truth comes to the ring, talks about how hard he had it in the past, and complains about the Lumberjacks being all X Division guys. BG James comes out, calls him a prima donna. Talk about their history, and says that he stood up for him in WWE. Truth says that he was lazy, and that James was lazy in WWE, and Truth was just there to pick up his slack. They fight for a minute. James sends Ron running. That's that. We're gonna finish this one.
Because you're so annoyed.
I am annoyed. Goldie with Brian Lawler. There were sound issues. We heard an announcement for a match we haven't seen happening or something with Jeremy Borash. I was paying attention to that. I didn't care what happened. I guess Lawler's abusive and he's trying to hide it.
Yeah.
Match number 3, AJ Styles versus Loki. Match was fine. This is a number 1 contender match, and it was best 2 out of 3 falls. Styles wins. Loki gets the first fall with a dragon sleeper. AJ gets like a sneak pin out. Gets like a sneak pin for his first fall, and then he takes out Loki's knee, works it over, and eventually hits his Styles Clash for the final fall. My only note really here is that I want to see someone else in the title picture for the X Division Championship besides these three guys, besides Lynn, Loki, Styles. I know we will eventually get that. I'm just waiting for it. Okay, Goldie with Jeff Jarrett. She talks. You just speak up if you want to throw anything in here, sweetheart.
Nope, I'm good.
All right, Goldie with Jeff Jarrett. She talks about the world title picture being more crowded than ever because we got Six Pac and BG James and Hall's back, and he just says, I'm focused. These are just obstacles, and we move on. Match number 4: Elite Skipper and Brian Lawler versus Scott Hall and Six Pac. I didn't really like this match. This is probably the worst match of the night. I didn't like it that much.
I liked certain parts of it. Like, I liked whenever Cough Drops was, like, featuring his partner bandana. He was like, yeah, this is my partner, and, like, pointing to him, hyping up the crowd for his partner, and I loved it. And I thought it was cute.
Story basically came down to this. Mostly was that Brian Lawler is distracted by commanding his girlfriend around, telling her where to stand, where to sit, blah, blah. And the reason I didn't care for this is because Elite Skipper's got quite an arsenal of moves to him that he can't use in this match, really, because most of it was Hall, and it's a Styles. No better term works. It's a Styles clash, doesn't work very well, so it just limits Skipper's ability to show his capabilities.
And Sean Austin looked like was
eventually the win comes around. Don West is distracting Lawler by consoling April. Skipper does some dive, gets caught. Six Pac hits the X Factor, and they win. After the end of the match, Jeff Jarrett rushes the ring, hits a stroke on Pac, hits a stroke on Hall. And I guess him and Lawler are now friends again. I don't know. They're working together here. Even though every week before this, they hated each other. Lawler was trying to kill him. All right, now we go to the back. Styles is with Goldilocks. I don't know what the hell was going on. Styles was being cocky, I guess, but he doesn't know how to be cocky, so he's just dancing like an idiot.
I thought he was either drugged or drunk. Okay.
This basically just leads to him suggesting that his title match against Lynn be a ladder match next. All right, number 5, Kid Cash versus Jorge Estrada. Match is fine. Estrada gets the win with a move called the TCB. As I said, I'm not going to take any. I'm not going to cover.
We would have if it.
There was a point in the match where Estrada went for a suicide dive over the top rope and came up way short, and Cash barely prevented him from smashing his face into the ramp. But outside of that, he wins, and then he says, Siaki, I want your tire now. And Siaki comes out, gives him some shtick, points to the screen, and we see a video pre-recorded video of Siaki burning Elvis' outfit. So, a sign of disrespect on his way out of the flying Elvises. But now it's official. Sonny Siaki's a solo act, and the Flying Elvises are just Jorge Estrada and All right, match number 6, X-Title Lumberjack match between Jerry Lynn and Ron the Truth Killings. The Lumberjacks in this match were Amazing Red, Kid Cash, Jorge Estrada, and who's the last guy? Loki. Last guy was Loki. Unlike their previous match where it was mostly just Ron in control, brutalizing Lynn. Because of the Lumberjacks, he couldn't really do that as much. But he does, after Lynn gets some offense, he does get some control, slows down the match for a bit. We get to see that, whenever he goes to the outside, he gets thrown back in. At one point, though, Lynn goes to the outside and Cash attacks him, and I don't know why. Estrada and Red stopped that from happening.
Oh, yeah, they were, like, mad.
During the match, Styles brings a ladder and sets it up on the outside.
And is, like, dancing around it.
Yeah. I think I forgot to mention earlier that the plum tree in during Cash and Estrada match. They also said apparently he was out during Styles versus. I don't know. He's scouting the X Division. Is the thing with Plum Tree. I don't remember what happens. All right. Okay, here's the finish. Ron uses the ref to block a German suplex, but since he's got the ref in front of him, he hits a low blow on Lynn. Red and Estrada try to point this out to the ref. Hey, you hit a low, bro. But this is distracting the ref. But instead of killings getting the advantage here, Loki climbs up on the opposite side of the ring from where the ref's attention is. He and Lynn work together, and Lynn gets the pin on Ron, wins, and retains his belt after some like falling cutter move. I don't know what. Right, but that's not their main event. Anything to say?
No, I'm just a little disappointed.
It was the lamest X Division title match so far. That's all I can say.
I'm just a little disappointed the fact that Lynn needed it.
That sure.
Because I love
The story there. I guess the story they're telling. I think that's not necessarily the story. Is that Lynn needed help? Is that the X Division united? The X Division, for the most part, is united against Ron Killings.
Which makes sense. I love Oodles and Noodles, like my favorite, and
We've seen him. We know he doesn't need help to win.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Main event for tonight, match 7, Jeff Jarrett versus BG James. This is pretty typical but unexciting. It was a pretty typical but unexciting match. I don't know what the stipulations were because they went to the outside. They were trading using the chair. There were more sound issues during this match.
I noticed that there was like a toddler there. Like that was the one thing I noticed.
Created sleeper holds. The end. Was this the ending? No. At some point, James accidentally like breaks the ref's eyes, and then Jarrett steps up the chair in the corner. Eventually, Skipper and Lawler come to the ring and try to interfere. Fail the first couple of times.
Sorry, I'm laughing because of Sean Austin lookalikes.
They get tangled up.
Anyway, it was so funny.
This distraction allows Jarrett to hit an unprotected chair shot straight to the head, but even that doesn't put James away. He kicks out. He goes to go hit his pump handle slam. I think he even did. When he goes for the pin, he gets his pump handle slam. He's gonna win, but he gets jumped by Lawler and Skipper. He gets a DQ victory instead of the. So it's bittersweet. Show ends with Hall and Pac coming out for the save. Finally get to see the Bronco. We see the Bronco Buster, which was teased earlier but never delivered. Then Truth comes out, and then they use the belt on knock all. Ends with that. Jarrett, Truth, Lawler, and Skipper beating down the. But yeah, that was a show.
Feast or fired for you, babe.
Fired.
Wow, you didn't even. I mean, I guess after recording it 3 times.
It's nothing to do with recording it 3 times. I just feel like this show was a lull over what last week was a really good show that made me excited for the future, and next week, which sounds like a much better show than this one. No match. I can't say any match in this was bad. It just was not. Didn't feel like it really forwarded anything. Felt like most everything that was set up, most everything that we went tonight was just kind of spinning the wheel. So, like, I wanted more from this episode. So I'm really the only thing of note is Siaki's finally.
Yeah, I'm on the fence because Estrada and Oodles and Noodles won, But I got bored out of my mind through half of it, so I guess fired for me.
All right, double fired then.
I think this is the first time.
No, we've had a double fired before.
Oh, have we?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. I'm sorry if this is not the quality you're used to. But it's tiring. It's not like we can put this off till tomorrow, because tomorrow's the day this is supposed to go up. We're gonna try to get back on top of being ahead. It's just gonna be rough because we got stuff happening.
Sorry.
Anyways, have a wonderful day. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Keep on wrestling.
Have a good night.